you this, but he said you were a beast.
I appreciate that. I do what I can, try to run as aggressive as I can, make my mark on the team.
You and I were talking about it when you sat down, that you played against Mayfair last year on the varsity level, played special teams. What flipped the switch in that first game? Is that something you always had in you, able to run like that?
It was. I've always believed in myself, and over the summer I've really put in a lot of work in the weight room on the field, just doing what I can for when my opportunity comes, and I just knew I was ready, so when my time came, I just made the most of it.
Let's step back and going into that stadium. Tell me about that experience for you and your team. I've covered many, many games there, but it was it wasn't like what you guys had it the other night. You have a smile on your face, so it was probably pretty cool.
It was surreal. I mean, not too many high school teams have, the opportunity to play in a stadium like that. It was amazing. The drive up, that was my first time seeing it in person. It was awesome to see the stands, how big everything was, the scoreboard with the pictures, the locker rooms. It was just great,
You guys got there right around 4:30ish, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's like 2.5 hours before kickoff. Does that 2.5 hours go by fast, or does it drag?
When you first get there, you're taking everything in. But once you start to get ready, it goes by really fast. The warm-ups, you see the other team, you're eager to get your hands on them, so it just flies by.
Did you know any of those players? I talked to Killian. He said he knew about 40% of those players at San Juan. Did you know many of them?
Yeah, I knew a few guys just from seeing them at the gym and whatnot. It was cool to play against guys that It made it more fun.
Your first touchdown, tell me what that felt like. I know it's kind of stating the obvious. I know it felt great. But when you were going across that goal line, you're like, what was that like?
Yeah, so I just got the ball, made a jump cut, saw the guys, knew the end zone was right there, dove in. It was just amazing, It was just all my hard work, coming to fruition. It felt really good, celebrating with my brothers, just looking up in the stands. It was awesome.
I commented to Coach that your offensive line did a great job. Tell me about that.
Oh, they did great. They were amazing. Everything they did, just like the plays, it was designed. Made all the right blocks, pancaked some dudes, finished through. They were running down the field on screens. They're just some dogs, and they were doing it great all night.
And the second quarter, the switch was flipped when Hero comes up with the fumble recovery, and then you guys bust out for 28 points. Tell me about that.
Oh, of course. When you're watching the defense, you never know what's going to happen. But when you see everybody jumping up and down, Hero running off the field, it's just kind of like a spark. So you got an opportunity to capitalize off it. Everybody's celebrating. Their momentum's kind of dead from fumbling, so you just want to get out there and make the most of it.
Did you get a chance to watch much when you were on the sidelines? Because I was pretty impressed with their quarterback, Colton Joseph.
Oh, yeah, he did great. He made great throws, scrambled, pretty good reads, throwing to his great receivers. I didn't watch too much, but when I did, it seemed like he was always doing something impressive.
Two additional things I want to talk to you about. One is the Norco game. Let's start with that. That's coming up. Coach is really jacked up about that game. What do you know about Norco? Talking about running backs, it sounds like they've got a couple of good running backs. Obviously, you don't have to face them because you're on the offensive side. But what are you learning about that team?
So, funny enough, I actually know about 80% of that team. Yeah, I used to play on Norco. I went to Winter Circle. I know a ton of those guys. I know they're really tough. They hit hard. They're disciplined, and they're going to give it their all. Their offense is pretty good. Jaden Ott, pretty good back. Kyle Crum, he can run with it. Their defense, a bunch of hard hitters, pretty big. It's going to be a really good matchup.
You should be coaching this game.
Hey, I'll do what I can to help.
Now, you guys going to come out and Coach said we're an aggressive team. We like to get after it, and that's kind of how you run the football. Tell me about that, where you get that from.
I can't really put my finger on it. It's just something inside of me. I do what I can off the field to get as strong as I can in the weight room. And when I get on the field, it's something's unleashed. It just feels great to get the ball in my hands, run as hard as I can, run through people, try to get as many yards as I can, and always go forward.
I could talk to you a lot about running the football, and we will again get some more insight because you're only a junior, what blows me away. A lot of guys were cramping on Friday night. I noticed it. I mentioned it on the broadcast. How do you avoid that? Because it's going to be hot this next couple days.
Yes, it's going to be really hot. What we've actually done is our coaches have informed us to bring a gallon of water to school every day. I've actually been doing that, but it's great that our whole team is going to be on that. I've heard something about mustard packets that we're going to be having to eliminate the cramps. Just a well-rounded diet this week, avoiding fast food, getting good sleep, and just all the above to try to perform at our best ability.
Well, you got your head on your shoulders, and I know that you'll have your head like on a swivel on Thursday night. So fun watching in the opening game. Congratulations, and great luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The Eagles played